What's up, everybody? It's your girl Rebel, aka The Voice. What up, though? Shout out to Whitney Houston. Listen, so this is episode 2 of the reality recap. So I'm coming back with Love and Marriage DC. This is season 2, episode 2. We got Ashley and Quick. We got Erana and Jamie, and we have Joy and Clifton. Those are the couples. They add in Winter to this episode, so you know it's gonna be a little messy because you know how she do. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So here we go. So it opens up this first segment. They pick up where they left off. Jamie and Lil Jamie are in the hallway going at each other, right? And then it gets real super ugly, and the son, Jamie, starts crying, and he's saying to the dad, I thought this was really interesting. He said to the dad, this is not even you, son. Like, this is not you. You playing for these cameras or something like that, right? And I wonder what he meant by that, because to me, I don't know, Jamie, the dad, seemed like he's been that way. He was that same way last season. So I'm not sure what he meant by that, or what Big Jamie was showing him that he felt was not normal of his behavior. I wasn't sure what he meant by that, but I kind of felt bad for the son. I did. I can't even lie. And maybe it's because I'm a woman, and it's like, the whole nurturing thing. I don't know. I just feel like I feel his pain, because it is hard when you get in trouble. It's difficult to get a job. These employers, they really be shitting on people, and it's really difficult to turn your thing around. On paper, because when you're relying on other people to hire you, it's rough. It's really rough. And so I feel bad. At least he's trying. They're not dragging him off the couch. It looks like he's trying to do stuff. I just know it's tough. And I think the dad should know that too. I think they should know it's difficult for him it would be difficult for him to pass a background check, if he has some stuff on there. But I feel bad for him, and I hated to see that blow up get that ugly, because they look like they really wanted to fight each other, and that was not, I didn't like to see that. So hopefully, they'll hash this whole thing out and, move forward. Yeah. Whew. And then Quick gave him some really good advice, just telling him, to kind of stand up. You kind of got to be responsible for yourself. It's rough out here. Nobody really, you can't get mad if nobody want to help you, basically. And I mean, that's real talk. The more you rely on people and put expectations on people, the more you will be disappointed. That's something I found out personally in my life. So I don't expect anything from anybody, and I don't like asking anybody for anything. I'd rather just not have it, or bust my ass to get it. That's just how I am. But yeah, I didn't. So the son is like, just leave me alone. But again, I hope they'll move past this whole thing. So, oh boy, this segment, Winter is back with her messy ass. She comes in making her declaration of independence. Kevin done signed them papers. She free. You know what I'm saying? She's in a studio with this dude named Alfred, making, rehashing. I think he's the one. No, not I think. He's the one who did that first song, Sign My Papers. Girl, listen, since that was your liberation song, I'm going to leave it alone. I ain't going to go there. I'm going to leave it alone. But, and now he's doing this new song with her. She's doing this new song in the studio with this dude. Child, I ain't going to talk about the music, because she's not an artist. So they introduced this girl. First of all, let me say this. Let me go back. I have to add that Winter looks absolutely beautiful. I kind of like Winter. I don't, she ain't like my favorite or nothing, but I kind of like her. She's funny with her messy ways and stuff. It's funny, but she looks really beautiful. So she's talking to this girl. They introducing this new girl named Cherelle. She's the producer's wife. And she seemed like a real chick. You know what I'm saying? A real DC chick. I love like her stance about, not that phony stuff. Oh, this is what I heard, or I got receipts on, but all that nonsense. She all about, like, if you want to say something, just say it. Just say it. You know what I'm saying? That's her thing. And but my only thing about this situation is, she says she's really close to Ashley. She seems like she's closer to Ashley, like, by saying this stuff. So she's like, but I'm still cool, but I'm cool with Winter too. So I already am looking kind of like, because I know they don't like each other. And so I know that seems petty, but there's a issue of, like, loyalty, that I think she's riding that line. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm really big on that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of like, why, if you, like, if that's your homegirl, if Ashley's your homegirl, why you over there messing with Winter in the first place? That's my whole thing. So she says she came to bring peace, to bring them together. Okay, we'll see how that go. So now we on Ashley, and Ashley is. She looks so fabulous. She's at the radio station. No, she's at the TV station. She's promoting her book. Do that ish. Go ahead, Ashley. That's dope. Very dope. I'm so proud of this for her. But so she's doing her interview, and the lady asks her. The lady asks her about Monique and Chris and their situation. And so she gets kind of like thrown off and stuff, like, yo, stop, like, don't do that. And she answers the question. Now she says, now, I like to be honest, but that is their business, and I'm not doing all that. So what I learned about Ashley and I respect that, first of all, I respect that. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for not, talking about people's situation. You did the right thing. But what I learned about Ashley in that moment is that she can hold her tongue. Like, she knows how to hold her tongue. So when she let that fish loose, she just lets it loose because she want to let it loose. And so, the stuff, she comes across a little bit brash at times. It's not even that she's outspoken. That's cool, but it's like, you still got to have a little bit of emotional intelligence when it comes to blurting stuff out about people, because you should care about people's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, you would want that. You would want that same courtesy as a person. I'm just saying. But that's my thing about her. I just learned that she can hold her tongue when she wants to. She can, because she made the right decision in that interview. So shout out to Ashley for that. Y'all, this is so immature of me, but did y'all see Jamie slip down the steps? It's so funny. It wasn't funny until Erana said, "Did you slip down them damn stairs?" I love her. I just love her. She's so funny to me. Like, she's so cute. Sorry, Jamie. That was funny. But on a serious tip, and on a serious note, Erana and Jamie get into a discussion about their son, Lil Jamie, right? And how to handle this situation better. It apparently seems like they have two different sides, obviously two different sides on how to approach him and approach this situation with him. Erana, as the mom, wants to, she feels like they should be more nurturing, because he's going through a rough patch, the son. And let's show him some love. Let's show him, some support, right? And then here's Jamie, who, as the dad, wants to show tough love. He's just like, nah, he just gotta push harder. He gotta do this, get up, stand up, the tough love stuff that sometimes you get from a dad, right? So, I gotta say this. To Jamie, because he said, well, what do we do? He said, I've been talking and nothing's getting through to him. What do we do? And to me, what you do is, you change your approach, because you just said it's not working. So you doing the same thing, talking to him the same way, approaching him the same way. And I'm saying this because, as the adult, sometimes you have to be the one, right? you keep approaching him the same way with the with the toughness and the harshness, and you see it doesn't work for him. He's not built to take that, so you have to change your approach if you want to get through. The son is not receiving the message through that delivery. So maybe change your delivery. And I know that's hard in itself, because Jamie is who he is. He's an alpha dude, and they, sometimes they talk a certain way, they present themselves a certain way, and things like that. So I do love that Arena said, um, you know, but I agree. Let me say this. I do agree with Arena. I feel like, something else that you do is, show him some support and guidance, instead of saying you should do this, you should do that, you do this, do that, sit down and talk to him through that path. Try to help him out in ways where, the background thing won't hurt him. Can he start a business? I don't, I mean, I don't know the finance situation, but these days it doesn't cost much to start businesses. Is he driven in that way? I would have sat him down and tried to find that, because you don't want to, because again, we had that conversation, I think, in the last episode. It's rough out here. It is tough. It is a fact that when you get stuff on your record, even if you change as a person, that is still on your record. And these companies will give you a hard time, right? Because they do the background checks, and they will, you will get not selected for stuff like that. And so just understanding that, I would change my approach, and just seeing that he is trying, I would change my approach. I would suggest for Jamie to change his approach and just be a little bit more, just less harsh. I don't know the word I'm trying to find here, but that's my thing. I kind of agree with Arena in that they should go to counseling. I think that's the best place for it because, again, they're clashing in communication. They can't speak to each other without yelling and getting really upset. So maybe there is another underlying issue that's causing them to act this way, So she suggests therapy and counseling, and they all gonna go, and I think that's a great idea. And I hope that, let's see how this thing progresses. I hope that they can move forward, because like Arena said, kids sometimes, when they don't have support or feel like they don't have support, and everything is coming down on them and they don't know how to handle it, they sometimes want to hurt themselves, and that is scary. That is a scary idea. So rather than push him away with that, bring him in closer and show him something, and maybe, just a little bit more guidance, and definitely the therapy. So I'm glad to see that for them as a family. So, all right, moving on. So moving on, we switch over to Ashley. So now Ashley is, she's, talking to her friend, the friend that she brought on the show. Her hair looks beautiful. Her makeup is bananas. Like, she just looked, the lighting is just hitting her perfect. Like, she looks amazing in this segment. Oh, wait. Ashley revealed that her mom left her when she was 16. Her mom moved on, like, found a boyfriend or a husband or someone to be with, and then, just basically jetted and left her to kind of fend for herself. And that explains a lot about that scene that we saw in episode 1, where her and Quick were having the discussion about, letting the 14-year-old son kind of man up and get himself ready for school, and, not having Ashley have to get up to baby him and coddle him. And she's like, nah, absolutely not. Like, I'm going to be present for the kids. I ain't doing all of that. So I get now, hearing that, I totally understand why she's, why she feels so strongly about that. That makes a lot of sense. Her and her friend were talking about, they were like, did some people say mean? We say honest about, how they just say what's on their mind. And they're talking about, again, the conversation that they had with Joy when Joy announced that she was doing the function for Steve Harvey, and she's talking to single moms, and they're like, oh, but you're not a mom, but you're not a mom, you're not a mom, what are you talking to moms for? Like, it was kind of like that. And yes, that is true. It's very true. It's honest. It's honest. It's an honest question. But again, like, for me, it's a thin line between mean and being honest. Because, like, there's nothing wrong with being honest and speaking your mind and everything, like, but you gotta still have the emotional intelligence attached to it, or else you're gonna be out here hurting people's feelings. And I mean, not to where, oh, it's just it's a simple truth and it's just something they have to deal with, but sometimes it can be, it can kind of cut. So when you lack the emotional intelligence, then it's mean. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to, I mean, yeah, sometimes red is red, a spade is a spade, but you don't always have to call it out if it might slice somebody. And I'm just saying that I can tell that the kid, being a mom thing for Joy is a sensitive issue. I could kind of tell she hasn't, like, I could just tell. So that's my thing with Ashley and her friend, saying that, the honesty mean thing. It's a thin line, y'all. It's a thin line. I love honest people, but I don't like people who are honest to the point where, at the expense of people's feelings all the damn time. That's I don't like that. That's now to me like you straddling like mean and shit. I don't like that kind of stuff. So anyway, moving on. All right, so Ashley is throwing a party. Ashley threw a party. It's a pink party, right? So she invites everybody to come have a good time. All the girls are there. It's really for, the people, the people who I guess her fans or her followers, whatever, to just come through, have some drinks, dance, have a good time, wear some pink, do some girly stuff. So a couple of interesting things happened at this party. So first and foremost, like, when the girl Cherelle comes into the party, right? Cherelle is there. Cherelle is the girl from the studio. If y'all don't remember, she's Winter's producer's wife, right? She comes into the party and instantly, like, Joy sees her, and Joy is just like, ew. Like, her face is just like, ew. You know what I'm saying? You can tell it's some stuff. Like, and I'm looking at this like, what? Why is Joy looking at her like that? What is the problem? But then so Joy breaks it down and she says that her husband, Cherelle's husband, and I can't tell. Some people are calling her Cherella. I'm seeing her name show up as Cherelle. I don't know. But anyway, to her husband was in a group with Joy, and so she said that the husband kind of snatched the whole thing away because he was the writer producer, so he just walked, and she said that kind of effed with her dream and everything, and she felt like, you know what, anybody who is an extension for this dude who she just has all this disdain for because of that, because the group situation didn't work out, she don't want no part of it. In fact, in her words, quote unquote, I removed myself. Like, and I was like, yo, I totally respect that. Like, you don't have to. And that's what I love about Joy. Like, she do that energy thing. I know, like I said, like, if you show her fucked up energy, she gonna show you some bad energy back, just to protect herself, just in protection. But she don't lead with that. She's not a bad person. She's not a evil person. I love her spirit. And so she was just like, I'm not messing with this girl at all. So that was a thing. The other thing was the girl Cherelle comes and tells Erana and Ashley that they need to meet with Winter, because Winter wants to work it out, and she want to meet with both of them. Ashley ain't with it. Ashley's not with it, and she says something interesting. Well, first of all, Erana says something interesting. Erana pointed out what I pointed out, and see it now. I know, I'm not like, I don't be bugging like when I see stuff like that. Erana pointed out what I pointed out when she said, "Why is this girl? First of all, she's Ashley's friend. So why you come to Ashley's party? Why you coming to Ashley's event talking about Winter at Ashley's event? And Ashley's supposed to be your homegirl." So that was my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who? Like, at some point it's a loyalty thing. Like if somebody is your people, you don't bring and you know that they don't mess with somebody, just leave that ish alone. Like don't just leave it alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't stand the way she's like doing this middle thing. It's kind I mean, I know she's trying to quote unquote bring the peace, but I just it's kind of rubbing me the wrong way. And Arena pointed that out and I totally agree. And the other thing was, Ashley said something interesting. She said, I don't care if Cherelle and Winter are friends. She's like, I don't care. It don't bother me. You know, I know she's my homegirl, but it don't bother me. She's over there. As long as, listen, this is key right here. This is as long as their friendship is not built on a mutual hatred for me. And see, that's when I wanted to jump up and ring the bell. Like, girl, see, but that's what it be though. That's what it be. When somebody like that can straddle a fence, it's like, I'm talking from personal experience. It's like you over there for a reason. You hearing something that you like, maybe about me, and you don't want to say it, but you hearing it, so you living through. I don't know. I don't like that kind of stuff. I hate that ish. I'm big on loyalty. I don't do that middleman stuff. Like I don't like that. Like if I'm messing with somebody and I know they don't mess with somebody, I just leave the other person the f alone. I don't care, cause it's like it's not that freaking. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. So I just thought that was just very interesting when she said that, and time will tell if the friendship is what she said. If Winter and this girl really do have a friendship based on Winter's little side hatred for Ashley. So let's see how this thing unravels moving on, because coming up, Erana and Winter are gonna sit down for words in the final segment. So that's coming up. So in this final segment, Winter and Erana have a sit down. So Winter tells Erana, you need to check your circle because they talk about you. They talk about you and your son, Jason, that's disabled, the one that's visually impaired. And she reads the text, and somebody is saying something like, they acting like they raised, Jason when they had sent him off or something like that. And then they moved the mother in so they could run the streets. It's just really, see, my thing is like for Winter to even read that to her, to even bring that to her, it's just so ridiculous to me. Like, why would you even? It's so ridiculous. Whether it's true or not, it's just such a menial factor in the grand scheme of things, in their life, and in Winter's life, and the whole, in everybody's life. It's just so ridiculous to bring that up. And, I don't blame Erana for just, kind of just being up out of there. I mean, that's where it ends. That's where the situation ended. Erana was kind of walking out. Coming up on episode 3, they showed the preview, and it looks like they're gonna continue talking about it further. And they're gonna discuss it a little bit further. Winter and Erana, in the next episode, looks like it's gonna get a little stank. And then Ashley's gonna talk to her mom. And we're going to hear that whole conversation of how it went, how it was perceived from Ashley's point of view and the mom's point of view. Because you know how they say there's always 2 sides to the story, or 3 sides, your side, my side, and the truth. So we'll get to see, at least get to hear the mom's point of view as to how that, or why that whole thing went down. That's going to be interesting. What else? They're all sitting down at dinner, and they're telling... somebody brings up the fact that little Jamie is talking about he might want to hurt himself. And see, this is what I was saying earlier. You got to be careful, and now Jamie is like, the dad is just like, no, he just wants attention. Well, listen, I wouldn't call anybody's bluff on that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody is saying that, you want to just still address it. You don't want to just turn your back and say, it's just... I would hate to see something happen to that kid. It looks like he's kind of crying out or something. I don't know. I mean, not in that. I'm talking about from when I saw him and the dad fighting. It was just something that just hurt me inside because it looked like he was really hurting. So, you know, I don't know. And then, what's her name? Ashley's friend gets into a car accident. So we'll get to see that in episode 3. So that's pretty much it. This is the reality wrap up. This is the reality. What did I call this damn show? The reality recap. Yeah, so that's it basically. This is the reality recap. This was Love and Marriage, season 2, episode 2. So that's it, you guys. Just go ahead and let's talk about this episode. If you want to talk about some things, I mean, do we like Winter's song? Do we think Winter's still being messy? Do we think what do we think about Cherelle? You know what I'm saying? Are we glad that Erana and Jamie are going to go to counseling for the family? Do you think the son is going to want to go? Hopefully he will. Is there a thin line between Ashley and her friend being mean versus honest? What do y'all think about, the mean versus honest thing? Is there a thin line? Just period. As we dig in Joy's distance that she gave herself from that girl Cherelle, I was loving that. Like, I love how she made the choice to say, I'm not effing with this, and she just ain't. And the whole side eye during the whole segment, I just love that whole thing. I just loved it. How do we feel about Cherelle? It's kind of being besties with Ashley and Winter. You know what I'm saying? They kind of, is she straddling the fence? But are we comfortable with that? You know what I'm saying? Are Ashley and Erana ghetto Barbies? Are they ghetto Barbies? I don't know, child. Let me know what you think. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe, or don't like it. That's your prerogative. Just do something. Go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss, any future recaps of any of the shows, not just this one, because I'm doing several of the reality shows this season. So go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss anything. So that's it. It's your girl Rebel, aka The Voice, and I'll be back.